The best of the morning X.
99X. Leslie Fram, this is simple. What is a SOFE? What is an SOFE?
A SOFE?
Easy enough.
Okay, we
Show quiz question.
talked
What
about
is a
this
SOFE?
yesterday.
If you listen to our show, you know. What's a SOFE?
Oh, wait a minute.
An SOFE. SOFE.
Yeah,
What is a
Don't
SOFE?
say it, Jimmy.
No, I'm not going to say it. I'm trying.
Good morning, X, you know?
There.
That's good. Glad you
Yeah.
called and shared your brilliance
Yeah.
with us.
Sorry.
See ya.
Orange, you're
Morning,
so
X.
mean.
Turn
Hey.
it up. Hey.
Did I get to answer the question?
Yes, go
You got
ahead.
to nail it exactly.
Significant other forced event.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's good.
Yay.
Look at your recall.
It's part of
Hey,
How would
Barnes
you know that
Onyx.
would ever come back up again?
Hey,
It's a
let me
Barnes made-up term.
That is a Barnes-Onyx term.
let me ask you: are you married or do you have a boyfriend?
Divorced.
Divorced?
Getting a divorce.
Yeah. Okay, so you're not seeing anybody
Those
right now.
Sophies weren't working
No,
out too well.
Do you remember what? Do you remember one particularly bad Sophie?
For me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I had to go to some big computer show in Atlanta one time.
Right. That
It
would
was very,
qualify.
very boring.
How about
You know-
you, Fram?
Ooh, let me think about this.
Any Sophies?
There's more on his side.
Mine
You
was
just call him a moron?
No,
You said it's
Just a
moron.
moron.
no, I did not.
Mine would be any wedding.
A
I
wedding.
know.
Those
Barnes
are my least
cannot-
dreaded Sophies. What
No,
about
I
you,
always
Jimmy?
drag
What-
Lanny to all my events.
God, I can't.
Come on,
I-
there's got to be something.
There really isn't that much.
We should open up the phone lines for this in a little while.
Yeah, your worst Sophie.
Your worst Sophie.
That's actually pretty funny. when you
Significant
think about
other
it.
forced event.
Yeah,
There
what
are
was the
so
worst?
many. Yeah, what is your worst Sophie?
Isn't it funny? You hear a phone ring and it could be anybody. But a ringing phone has to be answered, doesn't it?
Hey, do you have a Sophie?
Yes, I do. Actually, I've been to a number of weddings. Actually, I kind of like going to weddings. Those are pretty cool, but plenty of food. But anyway,
That's what I was going to say, the buffet.
yeah, buffet rocks, man. Especially if, of course, on summer days you get to watch the big ice thing melt. But
And also if the
I guess if they have a good
If
band and you like the people, it's all right.
yeah, sure. I've been to some of them that I haven't even known them, but as long as there's food, that's cool.
and if it's outdoors and it's a nice summer day, a lot of times like with those with the bridesmaids dresses,
Right.
if the sun hits the dress in just the right way as
Yep.
they're walking down the aisle, you can kind of see the outline underneath, right?
Glory.
Good day to have an Instamatic.
You know what I'm talking
Yep.
about? Come on,
So
guys.
what's your Sophie?
Well, the one, this was a long time ago when they had the Bobbin Convention in town, and I got dragged to that thing, and I went actually because I felt sorry for the girl I went with.
The Bobbin Convention.
The Bobbin Convention, I don't, it's like needle and thread and
Bob-
That's what I
fabrics
thought,
and
yeah.
stuff like that, and it was really, really boring.
I mean,
so.
did she, hey, you want to go to the Bobbin Convention? I mean,
She couldn't find anybody else to go, so I guess, and we were dating for like 6 months, and she asked me,
Ooh.
and I was honored that she asked me, but I had a terrible time. It was terrible, but I didn't let her know that.
Did you learn anything?
I'm better at sewing on a button and stuff, so that's cool.
I've
Yeah.
been taught how to sew on a button in my life, and I'm not exaggerating, no less than 25 times, and I still cannot sew it. I just don't retain that
I
information.
just cross all the threads and tie it at the end.
Yeah, it's
man.
easy.
I learned,
never- I
I
can't
learned a lot
retain
about
it.
different sizes of needles and stuff.
You could sit here and teach me how to sew a button on right now, and 2 minutes later I couldn't duplicate it. My brain won't accept that information.
Thanks for your call. Hey,
All right.
on the subject of weddings, Jimmy, when do you think in the relationship are you forced into a Sophie wedding event? Because there was a guy who came along on a wedding one time.
I'm glad the question went there. I thought it was a different question
No,
coming.
no, there was a guy who went along who had been dating this girl for, I think, 2 months. And he was, decked out in the suit, and I could tell he was kind of grimacing. I was like, dude, man, you're laying it on the line. 2 months and you're falling into the Sophie?
Well,
There is no way after 2 months that I would give it all up and just head right into one of those.
Well, that's only because you don't like weddings, but
He didn't either, but he was doing it, because
maybe
it's a
he-
Sophie.
You
Maybe
know
he
what?
wanted to score.
I think
True.
2 months. I think at 2 months you'd be going to weddings. Yeah.
2
2
months?
months, yeah.
Sure. Absolutely.
Maybe
a
after
wedding.
you've been married for 2 months.
Well, I mean, a wedding it's not that big a deal to go to. You
No,
may
if you,
not
if
like
you don't know
it,
the
but-
people, I'm talking about. I'm not talking
Yeah,
about your
I
best
don't think
friend.
so.
You go to your
It's
best friend's wedding.
excruciating for a guy.
It is.
It's
Hey.
only excruciating if you'd rather be out doing a bunch of other things.
Hey,
Which
what's
is
your
that?
Sophie?
Hey, one time I my girlfriend was flying in from Toronto. I lived in Detroit at the time, and we were supposed to go out, go get a cabin. It was north of town, real not up in the lower peninsula of Michigan. And I'd forgotten that I'd committed to do this thing for work, going out to pick up garbage on Saturday mornings on an adopt a highway thing. And it became a big kind of a oh, you can't make her go out there with you to pick up garbage for the morning when she thinks she's coming in to go up to a cabin. I was like, I think we can do that, and ended up making her go out with me for 6 hours, picking up garbage along I-75 north of Detroit, and then ultimately later we did go out and get the cabin. But
So at least there was a payoff after the SOFE.
Yeah.
so
Well, and
she got
the-
that, but plenty of times I've been dragged along to things, so that's the one opportunity that I got to make someone do something that they,
What's your least dreaded SOFE to be dragged along?
my least dreaded.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I haven't had anybody want to drag me along to 50-yard line seats of a Falcons game or something, but I'd do that if they forced me to do it.
No, I'm saying,
But-
what is your worst dreaded one coming from a girl?
Oh, my worst dreaded, just going to the mall. I mean, just
Yeah.
Just to wander aimlessly? Yeah.
oh God. I mean, it's like, why does someone want to make you do something that makes you look so
I don't get
uncomfortable?
it. I don't get it.
And they guys just stand there. They don't know what to do in the
I'm
middle
going
of the mall.
to the mall. We don't just go wander around at some football field when there's no game on.
And what's the like time I went and I found a seat, sitting on a bench out in the mall, got a magazine, I sat down and I was reading. And apparently you can't do that.
No, you need to participate.
Just because you're at the mall, you're not fulfilling your SOFE, my friend.
My God.
All right.
Well, yeah. Well,
Sounds like you're getting the frustrations
He
out.
is. He's totally getting him out.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, though.
Thanks for calling.
And man, a garbage. How big a task is that? What he was talking about, a garbage
garbage
cleanup
on
in,
the highway?
in Detroit. That's almost redundant.
Picking up Detroit.
garbage in Detroit.
An SOFE, SOFE.
Yeah.
What is a
Don't
SOFE?
say it, Jimmy.
No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm trying.
Good morning, X, you know?
There.
That's good. Glad you
Yeah.
called and shared your brilliance
Yeah.
with us.
Sorry.
See ya.
Orange, you're
Morning,
so
X.
mean.
Turn
Hey.
it up. Hey.
Did I get to answer the question?
Yes, go
You
ahead.
got to nail it exactly.
Significant other forced event.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's good.
Yay.
Look at your recall.
It's part of
Hey,
How would
Barnes
you know that
Onyx.
would ever come back up again?
I'll tell you what became a tad of an issue was the high school reunion. I'm going to my 20-year reunion.
Oh.
Was that a SOFE?
Well, everybody I talked to, I would consider going to anybody else's high school reunion a SOFE.
Absolutely.
I mean, I absolutely do not want to go to anybody else's high school reunion because
that's a SOFE premium.
That's
you don't. Why would you
boring.
want to go
it's
there?
dull, it's boring, you're out of place, you don't
Sure.
know anybody, you have to be brought up to speed on everything because it's, hey, remember the time when we,
Yeah, you've
know,
got
that
20
kind of
years
stuff.
of recap.
all that stuff, and so I said, you know what, I mean, it's just, this is, it would be a bad move. More bad could come from it than good. You
You're
weigh
better off
situations.
just, telling her to do whatever for the weekend. You'll
I
meet her
did.
back on Sunday.
I did, but she.
But then she'll turn it on you and then act offended.
My friend.
Do I win the prize? you could win. No way. If you asked
No
her,
way
she
to
wouldn't
win
want to
there.
go. But yeah, I got
So she was mad that I didn't ask her.
you. Right.
And so I was
hear
in a
you.
no-win. Because, whenever you go to these situations, you always have to weigh how much good can come out of this situation versus how much bad.
Right.
And when more bad is potential than good, then you have to take the Pasadena on.
Yes. Do you have a SOFE?
Yeah, I got forced to go to a baby shower.
Oh,
yeah.
How could I forget those?
That's kind of like the classic.
Whoever created the couple shower
Right.
needs to
No, I
be
was the
taken
only
out.
guy.
Oh,
Well, that's
yeah.
No beer and the only guy.
they lied to you.
I took Lanny to one, a co-ed one, and he actually won the most safety pins game.
Huh?
It's a long story, but they play baby games at showers, and he actually won the prize.
What do you?
He got into
safety
it.
Pins.
Yeah, if you're caught saying the word baby, you get a safety pin. So he won.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, man. Hey, do you have a SOFE?
Absolutely.
What?
I'd just been married 2 months, and my wife decides that she's going to bring me to her best friend's wedding shower. The problem is it was her 3 best friends that had a combined wedding shower.
Huh? Oh, so 3 of her
So-
friends were getting married.
3 of her friends were all engaged, and they decided that they were going to schedule their wedding shower at the same time. So I had to sit through 3 times the little
Ooh.
games, and 3 times
what,
the
though?
opening candles.
You got it all out at once, though.
Right. I would look at the bright side of that.
Were you the
Well,
only guy?
I'd have rather gone to 3 that were an hour and a half than to 1 that was 6 hours.
I don't know about that because
Because you have to get ready and go, and they're always way outside of town.
And either way, the afternoon is shot. So
Yeah, this one
whether
was in
it's
Hiram, so it was a good long drive.
Hiram.
Either way, it's shot.
I was there last week, my friend.
Okay.
Yeah,
That is a drive.
any of those, the wedding industry has just made this whole. I mean, there's a party for everything.
Right.
Yeah, there's like 6 parties before you ever get married, and the marriage is hopefully at least a party afterwards.
This guy sounds like every other guy I know.
Right.
Absolutely.
This guy sounds like a guy.
When I see the mail come and I see those invitations, I'm tempted
Well, I tell
just
you,
to
at
throw
our
them out.
wedding, we had 2 kegs.
We never got the invitation.
Did we ever get an invitation to the? Nah, I don't know.
Didn't see anything.
Thought it was junk mail.
No.
All right,
Didn't
thanks.
see anything.
We'll see you later. Hey,
Yes.
did you have a Sophie?
Yeah, is that a good one? My husband and I had been dating for about 2 months at the time, and he wanted to go over to his best friend's brother's house with a room full of guys watching an ultimate fighting championship. All the wives had gone shopping, and I was there by myself watching them watch these guys pummel each other, and they're screaming and yelling at the television, and I'm kind of sitting in the back corner going, okay.
And you couldn't get into that?
No. Have you ever seen it?
I've been there. I'll tell you what. Maybe.
Oh, my God, it's ruthless.
Why'd they bring you to that?
Well, it was on pay-per-view, and they love it. They followed it for years, and
Why would
they
you even
watch it all the time.
I'll tell you what. I spent an evening.
I have like 20 videotapes of all this mess.
I spent an evening on another planet one night when I saw Ultimate Fighting at the fairgrounds in Birmingham, Alabama.
They went to that.
Oh, really?
They went to that.
Were
yeah,
they with
my
Jimmy?
Well, we were married at the time. My husband, his father, and his best friend, the 3 of them. I think they were the only non-rednecks there, except for you.
Well,
Jimmy.
thank you. Yeah. Yeah. That's
Thanks
right.
for the call.
What would possess
right.
you
See
to
you
go,
later.
Jimmy? What would possess
You know,
you
I'm
to
kind
go?
of fascinated by that. It's part of the whole wrestling.
Dawn?
Okay.
You know.
Yes,
Did you have a Sophie?
yes, I do.
What?
I had to go to my husband's ex-wife's Christmas party with all of their mutual friends that they had when they were married.
Well, now,
Why?
see, wait a minute. You had to put your foot down on that one. I'm
It
sorry.
was kind of difficult. It was kind of hard for me because just a few days before that, I had been rear-ended by a sheriff
But wait a second. Why?
and was on a lot of pain medication, and so it actually made it a little easier to deal with.
Yeah.
Now, is your husband the sheriff that rear-ended you, or was this another guy?
Oh, no, this was another guy.
Hey, seriously, I mean, when it comes to going to ex's functions, shouldn't you put your foot down and say, no, I'm sorry, we're not going to your ex-wives?
And neither are you.
And neither are you, for that matter.
Yeah,
Thank
why-
you. Exactly.
Why did you have to go
Not
to
only
that?
am
It's
I
like-
not going, you're not going.
Well, he wants to be all nice for the kids and make it look like everybody's friends
okay.
and everything's all wonderful.
That's an excuse.
And,
That's a cop-out.
Well, well, we don't know what's the relationship between the 3 of you.
well, we kind of get along.
Would you
As much
see-
as you could with an ex-wife.
I mean, do you
Exactly,
ever? Do you ever
exactly. We don't really see each other very often, so that's good. But we try to make it nice for the kids because we have 3 children involved. So
Oof. It's tough.
we
Okay.
try to be nice. But it was she had been inviting us, and we never went. It's like, okay, this time we'll go.
Thanks for the call.
Thanks.
A Sophie, a significant other forced event.
You're on the best of the morning. Barnes, Leslie, and Jimmy.
99X.